Get back in the game. There we go. Ah! What's up? Say goblinmaxxer, and bit of medium news today. I went on another bike ride, and it's probably the last bike ride I'm gonna go on in a while, just because, well, it's just the way things go in terms of, well, I'm gonna be doing a pretty big move, pretty bigly soon. So I'm just not gonna be able to bring the bike with me, and that's very unfortunate. But yeah, today was the last ride. And I think the most important thing to note about it, honestly, was honestly the lack of things to note during the ride. It was nearly completely uneventful. Everything actually went surprisingly well, like a lot more, you know, a lot more smoothly than things have traditionally gone for my bike rides. I'm just gonna say that because in the past on my bike rides, I've eaten dust. Okay, I've eaten absolute floor. I have been riding and smooched the ground, a couple of times, and it's been kind of, you know, it's very humbling, honestly, quite scary once you do it because you really don't want to do it again. I think it really culminated with me dislocating my shoulder. After that, I was really just like, you know what? I'm kind of done doing all this crazy stuff on the bike. I think I'm not gonna go on any, crazy hills. I'm not gonna try to do any crazy stunts. Uh, and, that I was just gonna insulate myself in this little bubble of mine. And and I was like, you know what? I have a brilliant idea. I'm just gonna throw all of that out the window because I just learned this new really cool thing, and it's called doing a frickin' wheelie. And how to do a wheelie, it's very simple. I was just thinking of the most concise way to explain this. Uh, if you just try to pull up on your handlebars, well, if you're strong enough, you may get up there. You may get up there. But if you aren't, then you may notice you can't lift the front of your handlebars off the ground. It's a bit difficult. So what you have to do in order to assist yourself in lifting the handlebars off the ground is you have to, oh geez, I'm forgetting how to do it already. You have to sort of lean and push forward on the handlebars at the same time. Oh, by lean forward, I don't mean like put your weight like over the handlebars. I just mean like shove your weight into the handlebars. And then after that, I think it's like once you start slowing down, then you pull up on the handlebars. And the slowing down, it gives you a little more, gives you a little more force, when you're going up off the ground. And that ultimately allows you to, stop the tire from, touching the road, you know what I'm saying? And as soon as I learned to do that, I was like, well, I'm just gonna throw all this safety advice that I've previously learned out the window. I'm just gonna start wheeling. And so far, it hasn't gone badly. But I am afraid that it will one day, very soon. I've already had a couple of close calls because I'm like, oh, I want to do this over this big sort of incline, this natural ramp that God has given me in the ground, in His glorious nature. I definitely should wheelie over this, even though I've been biking for like a couple of weeks, and I just took 5 days off, and I'm back to biking. I should do this cold turkey. This is a brilliant idea, and to my credit, it hasn't gone wrong. So that means it never will go wrong. It never, ever will go wrong. In case you haven't figured out what I'm doing already, I've been doing the outer trim of the longhouse. It is a bit miserable at times because I misclick. However, we should be able to get the complete outside done uh, on this very episode, on this very day. And to be honest, I'm quite grateful for that. quite grateful. You know what I'm not grateful for is not grateful for, well, geez, a few things. But I'm very much not a big fan of the algorithms on social media sites. I'm just gonna say social media sites in general, not just YouTube. Actually, I do have a bit of a soft spot for Reddit's algorithm because it's I mean it's you just make a new post, and as long as it's something people like, then people upvote it, and then you do well. But of course, it still has its flaws. Like for example, what you'll see a lot of people that Karma Farm do is they'll do this sort of like they'll post the same thing to like multiple subreddits, and you may think, well, that's cheating, that's spamming. They shouldn't be able to do that. But then you'll look at the upvote counts on the memes on the subreddits or the posts on the subreddits, and they'll be like the completely same like post, but on different subreddits, they'll just get wildly different responses. And that's honestly, I personally think it's BS, even though it is like I suppose it is like the community, the subreddit, sort of determining what it wants. I think I saw it described very well uh on like a I don't know, like a Reddit help thread. Uh, it was described very succinctly as you only have so many people that are sorting by new, which is what you need to get a lot of upvotes on your posts, because those people are literally the imagine it like you produce a bunch of Reddit posts in a factory, right? These are the people, the factory workers that determine what gets out the door to like top or new or hot. And essentially they have a very strict set of standards, but they aren't the most terribly consistent either. So sometimes you'll post something that you think will really do well, and it'll get like two upvotes, maybe a comment or two, and then it'll just die. It'll just die, and you won't get any good traction off of it. You could post the exact same post. I mean, like possibly a week down the line, and maybe it's a different set of people, different environment, maybe even different time of day, and you'll just get like a bajillion upvotes. You'll be on like top of Reddit, and honestly, my best Reddit advice in that scenario is literally if you're trying to just get a lot of upvotes, like if you just want to post something and forget about it, you can do that. But if you want to get a lot of upvotes, try posting different subs, and like after a reasonable amount of time, like I don't know, like a couple weeks or a month, you can like post the same thing like again, because as long as you wait long enough, it's not spam. I feel like there's a bit of an unethical pro tip there, but yeah, if the time interval is long enough, technically not spam. That's the big takeaway here. Please flood subreddits with a bunch of useless posts that you find funny but are actually just annoying. Okay. Well, that's been the episode. I played a bunch of court stairs. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. But otherwise, yeah, that's all I got. See ya.